Hey guys, and welcome back to the bar.
Cheers.
AKA the show, Surviving the Badge. So this is going to be a unique show, guys. You're going to want to stick around. This is the after the show. Normally we go out back in my house here and we sit on the porch and we have some cigars and we talk about shit that we should have talked about on the show or that we want to talk about on the show.
Most of it's stuff that we can't talk about.
Right. I mean, we got peanuts, we got beer, my hat's all on backwards and shit and everything. So basically,
we're at my bar, we can smoke a cigar. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah, right. Until his wife come in and said, "You're killing us."
Oh.
But anyway, so this is going to be a blast. Stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let me open this one first.
So welcome back, guys. Listen,
We're after the show.
we got a great beer moment tonight. We're going to go into that first because, and I'm going to do the beer moment tonight. Screw you. It's Blue Point Brewing, but I'll let you say the name of it because it's awesome. What is it, John?
It's a Big Mother Pumpkin.
Big Mother Pumpkin. That's the name.
I don't know why they didn't just call it pumpkin.
Right.
Yeah, pumpkin.
Yeah, that would have flowed so much better.
Yeah, a Mother Pumpkin.
Right.
But
That
this
would've been
is a what is it, John? Is it an IPA? Is it a
It's
lager?
an IPA.
It doesn't taste like an IPA.
Oh, it's an ale.
It's an ale.
Ale with natural flavors.
Imperial pumpkin ale with spices and natural flavors. 9.0% alcohol.
Buddy, you can smell
Yeah.
the nutmeg or whatever it is in that, and the cinnamon. Yeah.
right?
Ooh,
Cinnamon.
tastes like a pumpkin pie.
That's good for a pumpkin.
I'm usually not a fan of pumpkin beer.
Right, but that's not bad. I've had some good, the good, and I've had some bad.
9.0. Hi-ya, wow.
Yeah. So I'll start us off. I'll give us a 5.5. I mean, it's good.
I'll go next. I'll give it a 4. Just because I don't like all that bullshit in my beer.
Right.
Yeah, that is certainly not. I just mowed the lawn. Give me a beer.
That is
beer.
not-
Hell no.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What do you give it, John?
I'm just going to give it a flat 5.
Okay. All right. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
Pretty low on the scale.
But if you want to compare it to a pumpkin pie, it's got the pumpkin spice in there.
If you were drinking a pumpkin pie with alcohol in it, that'd be it.
Yeah,
right
if
there.
you like cinnamon and pumpkin, this is your beer. Big Mother Pumpkin.
I could see drinking that at Thanksgiving.
I could, yeah. That would one. All right, so Camille, go ahead and go.
So 18 officers fallen in the line of duty this year so far. In the spotlight, March 3rd, we have Master Trooper Bailey was struck and killed by a vehicle while he was trying to lay out from Indiana. While he was trying to lay out some spike strips on a car, and it swerved and right into him and killed him.
That was one of the biggest things we talked about.
Have you guys ever been successful? I'm sorry, I interrupted. Biggest thing
Well,
we
I was
talked
just
about.
saying, when deploying stop sticks, you better be behind.
Some kind of cover.
Well,
or-
yeah, but like
No.
not
Jersey
just-
barrier.
not cover.
yeah, significant cover.
Okay.
I taught it.
Okay,
I
so
taught
that's the
stop
word,
sticks.
significant cover.
And it better be something that can stop a speeding car at 60 to 80 miles per hour. And a patrol car or a little palmetto or something like that ain't going to do it.
So
it's got to be a building, a big Jersey barrier, or several Jersey barriers, or something, a bridge abutment, something like that.
So if you don't have it, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life. Not worth your life.
I wonder if there's a study out there how many officers have been killed deploying stop sticks or.
I don't know if there's a study, but there's a lot of them.
I'm sure there's probably.
There's a lot of them.
So to Master Trooper Bailey, please rest in peace.
God bless you and your family.
God bless.
Prayers.
And on a different note, has nothing to do with the officer falling. Cheers.
I thought we already did that.
I did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
Or
you?
was that last time? I don't know.
you did it. You did
I
it.
don't think you got a cheers.
Tried to
in.
sneak one in there.
Yeah, I said you
Comment
finally
if
did it.
Camille got cheers in before me.
So
So on a different note, I have been dieting my ass off since last April. And I'm proud to say that I am down 65 pounds since last April.
You're about to blow away, bro.
Dude, it is a struggle, but I'll tell you what, man, I've been going to the gym 6 days a week. If you guys that are retired and you're out there and you're like, damn, I'm bored, I have nothing to do. There are guys 60, 70, 80 years old at this gym, and I see them in there every single day.
You're one of
the
them.
machines.
So
they're on
just
the
like you.
So you're saying a bunch of youngsters.
Yeah, they're on the treadmills, the machines, and they're in there working out, and they are in great shape. And you know what? They're going to live a long damn time. So get yourself up off the couch and go do something. Trust me. Anyway.
Unless they're hit by a Mack truck.
Well, hey, you know what?
Now, if you're
the Lord
doing that,
has a plan for you.
if you are following LT's advice, please do not take pictures of your progress and send it to your friends every 3 minutes.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Just saying.
I don't say it every 3 minutes. You're not even to check your Facebook.
I don't.
Anyway.
All right,
What the hell are we talking about tonight?
Well, after the show, so
like LT said, after we do this and we've got some beers in us and we go back and we smoke some cigars and we just talking about shit. We just talking about the stuff that we've dealt with, the crashes, the bad cops we've dealt with, the good cops, the first person we've ever seen dead, right? And so we're like,
Why
LT
is
says
this chair turned all the way around the other direction?
it's always like that.
No.
Yeah, it's either that way or this way.
Yeah, let's turn around backwards.
Oh, sorry. Anyway.
because he's not going to the gym and he's got a fat ass.
You know?
Hey, round is a shape.
Exactly. It is a shape.
I'm in shape, right?
Right? So we decided to bring that to you guys. And because any of you guys who are cops, you know all the shit we've seen, all the stuff we've done. Some of it's funny. Some of it's tragic. Some of it's horrific. So we're going to probably hopefully
it's
say...
sort of like different strokes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll start us off. I went to a traffic homicide one night. Didn't know it was going to be a traffic homicide. I went out and they said there was debris in the roadway on I-4. You were there.
I was there.
I go out, first person on scene, roll up, cross the median, back when you cross the median on I-4 in our area.
No, actually.
Cross the median, rolled up, and I look and I go, 18 to our dispatch. I got clothes all over the roadway here. I'm going to need somebody to come and help me close this road down. About 5 seconds later, I get a little closer and I go, 18 to dispatch. I've got a body out here in pieces.
Which means you were the second person on scene.
Why is that?
Because
The body was the first person on scene.
Cop.
Oh. Well, am I right?
Yes.
So I call
Technically.
Are they still a person if they're dead and dismembered?
Yes.
Okay. So I call in and I get out of the car. Anyway, it was all over the road. I mean, it was cut in half. There was a piece here, a piece there. Teeth, 50 yards, 100 yards down the road. It was terrible. It was run over by like 2 semis and 3 cars. But anyway.
I was on this scene and I was, I don't know, 20, 21, give or take. I mean, I was brand new. And I'm standing there and I'd seen a couple of dead bodies here and there, natural death, or I saw drowning. And I'm standing there and I'm looking.
In utter disbelief.
As far as the eye can see, it's this person. Mm-hmm. It's like a bomb went off.
It was.
And I can see it as plain as day right now.
I can too.
You could see where this person's brain was removed from the head and just rolled, and arm. I mean,
yeah, there was a
Never
leg,
forget
leg on the side of the road. One leg still in the pair of jeans. The torso was cut in half. So the upper torso was here. One arm was laying like this with the back of the body, the skin and all, rolled over the head because the head was smashed completely flat. It was rolled over the head. And this is 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, easy.
I still remember it like it was yesterday. But anyway.
And you wonder why cops have morbid senses of humor.
What screwed me up is for almost, I don't know, probably 3 months, the first thing it didn't give me nightmares or anything like that, but the first thing I thought about when I opened my eyes every morning when I got up was that scene. Yeah. It came to my mind immediately as soon as I woke up. I was like, holy, that was freaking horrific, man. I mean, it was just terrible, you know? And, you know, I didn't go see counselors and all that bullshit, whatever, you know, but...
What do we do about that? We put it in a box.
Yeah, and that's all I did. I put it in a box, moved on. Put it in a box, moved on. Every one of those scenes like that, put it in a box, moved on. One just scene, I had my wife riding with me. Same highway, and a car over 100 miles an hour went down this interstate, went outside the road, flipped several times, hit one of them massive light poles on the side of the interstate, cut the car into two pieces, and about 6 foot off the ground was a big splatter mark on the side of this pole. And I look, and well, you can see brains coming down the pole like this. Unfortunately, I pull up, my wife looks over, and she goes, oh my God. That was the last time she rode with me. The other sergeant that was on at the time, actually, I don't know if he was a sergeant or not. It was Matt. Mm-hmm. His wife was riding with him that night. To this day, she saw all that. To this day, she has never ridden in a police car with him ever again. She said, I will never ride with you again, ever.
Your wife ever ride with you?
Once.
Yeah? How'd that go?
It was fine. She just wasn't happy with the fact that she's like, okay, I need to use the restroom. And we're driving there, and I see some teenage girl. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, walking down the side of a dark road. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I got to get out with her. And, you know, of course, this was now an hour-long call.
She's still
like,
got to
John, I've got to use the restroom. And it's like, sorry. I've got a job to do. This is what it is.
Yeah, this is the job. You ever pee on a traffic stop?
Damn right I did.
Not on the traffic stop.
I did.
You know, I remember I've done it once. Running radar at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I gotta pee. Oh, let me, 110 miles an hour or whatever it was. Oh, fuck. So I pull the car over, right? I pull the car over. And, hey, can I have a license? And I go back to the car, back into the car. And I finish writing the ticket and
turn all the lights on, the spotlights on, everything else. Make sure there's no cars coming.
Open all the doors.
You got one head over looking at the bad guy or the person you got stopped. You're like, oh, please don't get out of that car. Please don't get out of that car. I mean, it's either that or you
please
piss
don't
off.
watch the previous show we did where we talked about officer safety and how to deal with a cop. You know.
Excuse me, officer, are you peeing?
One of them things, man.
Get back in the car. I have a lawful authority to tell you to get in the car. I gotta pee.
So LT, what is a code? What is a code brown?
Code brown is when you got to take a shit so freaking bad that you are doing everything you can do within reason to get to the damn bathroom. And I mean, it's right freaking now. And that's why not to this day because I'm retired, up until the day I retired, if I walked up to somebody's car and they said, officer, I gotta poop, give me all your stuff, I'll follow you to the restroom. Give me everything you got. You're leaving your purse in the car. You're not taking anything with you. Go ahead. I'm going to pat you down. Make sure you don't have any drugs or anything. I'll go. And I had all their stuff. You take a chance. If they got a warrant, they may be like, see ya, and run out the door. We'll see you later. But you know what? 99.999% of the time, they had to go poop.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be a human being.
I stopped the car in the interstate.
Be.
Yeah, right. I stopped the car in the interstate. He says, officer, I'm hauling ass because I got to make the rest area because I gotta poop, and I let him go. I forgot what ticket worth. This guy's pooping his pants and embarrassing himself, and no.
But
get out of here.
I did run them real quick, make sure they weren't wanted or anything, and then see.
Well, running the tag, usually a good dispatcher will run them anyway.
A good dispatcher.
Right, yeah, well.
Which we had a shitload of great dispatchers, but there's always that one.
Right.
And that's the one that's working when that happens.
So I had my first wife riding with me one night.
My sign is dying. It needs new batteries.
Oh, damn it, man. What's that?
The police.
Yeah, it says police, and it's the light up flashing badge, but it's going dead.
So I'm driving behind a strip mall. And as soon as I come out, I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, as soon as I come out from one area, I look down and I see these 2 knuckleheads dealing with
That is a legal term.
I'm sorry.
Knuckleheads.
Juveniles. Juveniles dealing with something with the a vending machine, right? And I go to get out, and then all of a sudden, my ex-wife now, she hits the alley light on the right side because a couple of kids had popped up and run into the woods. And what these kids were doing is they were putting salt water into the vending machines and shorting it out. And they had a whole backpack full of sodas and change, and it was shorting it out. And all you had to do was push the button, and it was.
So if in 2 weeks we get a rash of
Thanks a lot, Camille.
vending machine burglaries, we know who to blame.
So I arrested these 2.
All 40 of you who watch your show, do not do that because we can figure out who you are.
Yeah, we can.
So
There's only 40 of you.
So he goes in.
Unless you tell your friends. Like and subscribe and tell your friends.
Got a kid running into the woods, and this is where I was working for your dad, and he had, I think it was him or somebody else. They had we didn't have a canine, right? So we yelled on the PA, "Hey, we're gonna bring in the dog." And
who barked on the?
I think it was his dad or was it? Were you there? Okay. God, I'm so old. I don't remember that.
I was a good barker.
Hey, we're gonna bring the canine in. You better come out. He's gonna eat your ass if you don't come out. And then, I'm coming out.
I did that. We had a guy run from us, and he went through the woods behind where the PD is now, and took off. And
you
everything
guys know
else.
where that is.
Yeah.
And I got on the frickin' I got on the PA and started telling him, calling the canine in, and started that barking shit. And he came out on Lake Mary Boulevard. There was one guy sitting there, and he goes, "Okay, man,
Coming out. Don't eat my ass."
It didn't work, but maybe 1 out of 100 times.
That was a good job. The fact that we try to prevent saying where it is, but you just said what road, even though we always called it the Boulevard.
But that's okay. That's all good. So, John.
Did I? Oh, okay.
First dead body, John.
Well,
As a cop.
as a cop,
Yeah. We don't care about the fire shit.
zero recollection because
Because you had seen.
because I had
okay.
seen several. I was a volunteer firefighter when I lived in New Jersey.
Boo.
Okay, and I was on the volunteer fire department for less than a week,
Hey, Camille.
I know.
and we had to call I think it was a Plymouth Voyager, whichever one of the ones that were catching fire after they got into the crash in the 80s. And there was a body burnt inside the van. It crashed into a pole, burst into flames, and we have to cut the body out with the seat. And next thing you know, again, 1 week on a volunteer fire department, and all of a sudden, I'm holding a burnt body in my arms, and I had nightmares for a week.
Why were you holding a burnt body in your arm?
Well, because they were cutting the seat out, and it finally flipped out. So now I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I catch it. It's flipping out.
Well,
of
you
the
don't
car.
want it to get hurt.
They'll teach you to catch a dead burnt body.
But like I said, I had nightmares for a week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the smell was overwhelmingly repugnant, and it will stay with you forever.
I'm lucky that I've never had a burnt body. I've had rotting corpses.
But I saw drowned bodies, that bloated and came up, a week and a half later.
Yeah.
Which they're not the nicest things either. But after that first one, a half hour or a week later, I'm done, and I have not had one nightmare or anything from all the dead bodies I've seen or all the trauma I've seen. It's almost like the baptism by fire.
Yeah.
I saw the worst.
So what do you think, and I know we had Mark DeBona on last year. We should probably have him on again. What do you think, because we've all seen some stuff that we can't even share with these fine viewers, fine 45 viewers.
Didn't need to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.
And share with friends.
Right. We've seen stuff that we can't even, but we put it in a box and we keep it there. Sometimes it comes out and we're like, nope, you're going back. What do you, why is it there are some officers, because officer suicide is such a horrible situation. What do you think it is that officers need to do or can't do to mitigate? I mean, because obviously we're...
Some people just can't deal with it, bro.
Well,
There's no way to tell who can and who can't. They just can't deal with it.
But it's not that they can't deal with it. It's PTSD, which I'd be willing to bet all three of us suffer from.
Probably.
However,
Give me another beer.
we don't. We may or may not exhibit symptoms of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's the strangest thing that may spark that. Okay, I was talking about the smell of the dead body.
Yeah.
The burnt body. Okay, I love lamb,
I know where you're going.
but do not burn lamb.
Really?
Lamb has, if you've ever burnt hair,
Yeah, oh yeah.
that's it. It's that same smell.
Oof.
But like
You're
lamb
supposed
is.
to clean them first and take all the hide
Well, I'm not
off
talking about
and
the hair on a lamb.
Come on,
Son
John!
of a bitch.
Jeez.
No. Because that's wool on a lamb.
You have to silence them first.
Yes.
No.
No. What I'm saying is, lamb has, as far as meats I've smelt burnt, lamb is the closest to human flesh.
Right. Oh,
The odor of.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I've never dealt with burnt bodies. I've had stinkers. You sent me on a stinker. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Hey, don't be on call.
You were a detective for a while. Every call I got out, I'm driving home. Hey, 5:30, la la la. Hey, we got a signal 7, dead body at such and such. It's either a suicide or somebody's been dead for 3 days.
I probably handled as many dead bodies when I was in CID for a year and a half as you did when you were in CID for 17 years.
Yeah, they brought him a frickin' what you call it, from the
scythe.
Green Reaper, a scythe from the Green Reaper, and hung it in his cubicle, dude. His first 3 months in frickin' CID, I swear to God, we had like 5 suicides. It's
People
like,
were driving to the city to kill themselves.
Yeah, we're literally found one in a frickin' he found one or whatever. Yeah, it was from out of town and drove there, killed himself.
Guy drives to his brother's house. He lives in the next city over. Drives to his brother's house and shoots himself in the truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
I think he called the PD and said, "Who's on call?" John's on call.
I had a
We're
guy.
joking about it. It's not a joke, guys. This is how we do it. Gallows humor. This is how we deal with it.
I had a guy who killed himself. It was New Year. We found him, or somebody found him. Called me in. It was New Year's Day, and what he did is he called his ex-girlfriend who had moved up to New York or wherever, and he called her and said, "Hey, you did this to me." Bang, right on New Year's Eve, and. So I redialed the phone, because he had a phone in one hand, he had the gun in his other, and like obviously he called somebody. Hey, do you know so and so? Yeah, that's my ex. Have you heard from him? Yeah, he called me, but it was so loud in here that I couldn't hear anything, and then I hung up on him. So he tried to make her feel real shitty.
And hear the suicide.
And now you made her feel really shitty.
Hey, shit happens, right?
So yeah, she didn't,
Oh, well, he's dead now.
Yeah, he
Because you couldn't hear him and you hung up on him.
because you broke up with him. Thanks.
Guess you should have answered the phone and talked to him. Maybe he wouldn't have killed himself. Damn.
Wow.
Hey, this is the after show, guys. This is the shit we talk about when we're sitting there having a cigar.
The worst suicide I ever had was.
If this is bothering you, please turn it off, but tell your friends.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe.
watch for a long time so we get our viewership up. We're suicide.
Walk away from the channel. Walk away. You can leave it
Hit
running.
play and walk away.
Walk away.
See that play. Thanks.
Worst suicide I ever had was a 16-year-old whose girlfriend dumped him.
Right.
And he put a hose to the car and was playing music and right in his parents' backyard. It was
That's terrible.
That was the detective from Wisconsin's first. I don't want to say any names.
Yeah.
His first.
He's a cheap son of a bitch, isn't he?
It was his first.
He had
body.
a coupon. He had a coupon for the body.
Thaddeus.
Yeah, Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
And I'm walking him through it. I mean,
How you doing, Thaddeus? I hope you're watching.
There you go, Thaddeus. I miss you, man. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta, lift up and see this, and you gotta look, touch the body. I gotta touch the body. Yeah, you gotta touch the body. We're detectives.
I gave that guy so many nicknames. I gave him Nat, no airtime because he wouldn't shut up on the radio, and freaking Thaddeus and everything. Thaddeus stuck with him his whole career.
Yeah, and
at least with us.
Right.
He just looked like a Thaddeus.
Dude, so he's from Wisconsin, and he has a normal accent. Until he runs across somebody who else is with... We're dealing with a...
Dude, I can't say shit because when I get around people that really talk really deep south, I freaking start talking like
Yes,
so
because
I
he's
can't
from
say
Chicago.
No, I am not from Chicago.
Why do you like the Bears?
I am not from
Bears.
Chicago. Are you from New York?
No.
Okay. Then why do you like the New York Giants?
Because they're the...
New York...
Jersey-
I'm
they
sorry,
play
it's
Jersey.
called the New York Football
Because they
Giants.
play-
It's called the New York Football Giants.
But they play in New Jersey.
But they're the New York Football Giants.
Did the people want to see you guys
New York
arguing?
Football Giants because you always say,
I
why do you
the
call it? Why do you
Chicago
call it?
Bears
There you go, that.
because they're from Illinois.
We've
And
lost.
I'm
We've
from Illinois.
got off the rails here.
But
That
that
was
was
the
that happens
purpose.
after the show.
Oh, by the way, the Bears suck.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they do against the Giants this year, buddy.
Another cigar bet?
Wager?
No.
What?
Oh yeah, because he knows the Giants are they're going to win Super Bowl next year.
Oh,
on.
horse shit. Whatever, dude. Giants suck. Although, you know what I thought was great, though, is the Green Bay Packers got rid of freaking Aaron Rodgers. He's going to the Jets.
Right.
Yes. So hopefully
He's going to do the
their
same
ass.
thing that Brett Favre did for the Jets.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
LT, scaredest you've ever been as a cop?
It was when I was a rookie, and I was going to my first domestic. I still remember it like it was yesterday, man. I was going to my first domestic. And actually, I wasn't, I guess, a rookie by the standard, my first year, because I'd done a year with one agency, and then I went to this other agency.
You went with a slow agency to a balls to the wall
Holy
agency.
shit, balls to the wall
Yeah, right.
agency. And I'm going to this call, man, and I remember them giving it to me, and me and
Not
my
the one we all worked at.
No, me and my buddy, I'm going to say his name, retired Chief Brett Mead, my man. We were going to this call, and I remember I'm in the car by myself. I just got out of FTO like the second night by myself, and I'm going to this call, dude, and I'm telling you, I was about to throw up. I was so freaking nervous and scared because they said the subject possibly armed. He had already, beat a couple of people, and I'm like, oh my God.
Are you sitting there, hey, can we call the cops?
Yeah. I got there, and just instincts took over. The guy walks out of the door. I grabbed him. The next guy walks out of the door with a shotgun in his hand. Of course, we draw down on him. I'm trying to hold on to this guy while I'm drawing down. Brett draws down on this guy. Tells him to throw the gun. I'll never forget this. It was a trailer, and it had like 4 steps up to the landing and then into the trailer. He throws the gun, and it goes and barrel first into the freaking grass.
It's actually safe because you fill it with dirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know that from Bugs Bunny because then if he fires the gun, he'll just go.
So, I grabbed this guy, and he's like, F you, fuck you. And I said, dude, just calm down and go to the ground. I'm trying to put you on the ground, handcuff you so we can figure out what's going on. Man, fuck you. And I pick him up, and he puts his foot on the trailer to push off on me, and I just do the full suplex. Straight backwards.
There you go.
Boom, straight backwards onto the ground. And Brett, afterwards, Brett goes, dude, I ain't never in my 6 or 7 year career ever seen somebody grab a full man and full suplex him into the ground. And I went, well, and everything was chill out.
You should have climbed out to the top rope and superflexed.
I should have, man. I should have. But everything calmed down. It was fine. But, man, I was so freaking scared, dude. I thought I was going to throw up, man. Scared to death, dude.
John?
Oh, scariest I've ever been?
Yeah.
I was working night shift. And, I was usually leaving my house fairly early. But, you call, in service 10-8, about 5:30. And, I call 10-8 at 5:30, and I hear the lieutenant get on the radio and say, meet me in my office when you get here. Yeah, you want to talk about the pucker factor? Because there ain't no fucking lieutenant who works day shift who stays around at 5:30 unless he's waiting to talk to you.
Right.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't him, but I will tell you that is pure pucker factor.
Yeah, I had that with a captain at 2 o'clock in the morning. So
that's when
That's just because he got arrested.
Yeah, well.
you work night shift, and one of the beauties of night shift is you don't have to deal with admin.
No admin.
Okay,
at all.
It depends how your department is set up, but the admin normally is
the highest you got is an LT, maybe till about midnight, maybe.
Right. But in whatever department you have, it may have been the captain calling you at or a major. Mm-hmm. That may be the guy. One of those rankings never works past 5 o'clock.
Right.
So when you get called into their office, when you call in service after it's
like he's waiting for you.
Oh yeah, I've waited around to talk to you. Yeah, that's the most.
Okay, so what happened? In a nutshell, real quick, Reader's Digest. What happened? Why did he call you in?
Well, it was to talk about someone else's case. Oh, God.
Well, he did say he was scared.
Yeah,
I have to have the results.
Yeah, but it was someone else fucked up. But they had to talk to me about it.
Right.
But But yeah, you're most scared the first time you're called into the.
Yeah. Kind of weird. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
for
totally.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, so again with your dad, domestic.
You got a domestic with his dad?
Well, yeah. We showed up to this domestic, and this lady says, yeah, he's been beating on me, and he's right in here, and she opens the door, and we walk in, and he pulls a rifle on both of us. And, yeah, it shit just got real. And so
did the sphincter slam shut?
Yeah, big time. So we drew our weapons, ripped around the corner, and he put the gun down. But yeah, that was.
But anybody can be a cop. I mean, anybody can be a cop. I mean, y'all.
We should send counselors.
Yeah, you that aren't law enforcement officers that are watching this, I mean, you could handle that, no problem. You'd have just blown them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quicker to whip around the corner, back around the corner.
You would have de-escalated.
Yeah. Let's bring a counselor.
We would have had a counselor
domestic.
in your car, and he would have talked the person down.
We talked him down.
Yeah.
With 357 in his face.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So. Well, you know what? It's some of these scary moments. They'll live. Like I said, I was a law enforcement officer for 35 years, and some of this shit happened. The most scariest, craziest shit happened the first 20 years of my career, and I still remember most of them like it was yesterday.
I remember the worst shit I've ever seen. Like I just saw it.
It was yesterday. And they say, like the 9/11 tragedy. Mm-hmm. Everybody remembers where they were when that happened. If you were alive then, the John F. Kennedy assassination. I remember what I was doing when Reagan was attempted assassination. I was laying on the couch. I stayed home from school. I was sick. I wasn't really sick. Stayed home from school. I was laying on the couch watching him.
You remember when Lincoln was assassinated?
I was going to go with Caesar.
Watching him walk out of the freaking hotel on the sidewalk and watching pow, 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 pow. I remember it like it was yesterday.
John Hinckley, yeah.
But you remember shit like this, and people say, oh, I've only had maybe a couple of events like that in my entire life. Most of them, it's 9/11 and something bad happened to their family or something, but we went through this like once a week, once a month, or whatever this shit happened. And you remember it, man.
And the weirdest thing, I think, is you have a shitty day. You see the worst of the worst. You see shit that would just bad. And then
Curl your hair.
Yeah, and then you go to work the next day. And you put that shit in a box.
Yeah, or you go out to dinner with your wife, and you go to your kid's baseball game or basketball game or whatever. You take them swimming, whatever, and act like absolutely nothing happened.
Yeah.
And your wife says, what happened to work today?
You can't tell them. No.
I know a lot of officers that told their wives everything that happened most of the time on the job. I never told, unless it was something super funny.
Oh, yeah.
Or silly.
Yeah.
I never told my wife one freaking nasty, horrific event that happened. I just
But
didn't.
then again, and I know you coughed in my general direction.
My general direction.
My wife was on the first aid squad with me. She is a nurse. So that is one of the things that, she understands the gallows humor. Mm-hmm. She understands that, you tell her, about trauma and tragedy, she understands it.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
But here's why I didn't. It's because the more scary shit you tell them, the more they fucking worry.
Oh, yeah.
And worry. And worry. And worry.
Well,
and worry. And then it's a call every fucking hour. How are you? How are you? How are you? I never had to worry about it.
But it was never that stuff that I didn't tell her the things, the dangerous things I dealt with.
Smart.
One time I did show her a video of me. Literally, I was just chasing someone, and then they crossed the median.
And the motor blew up in your car.
Well, no, this is a different one. They hopped the median and drove the wrong way down the interstate, and then they exited on the entrance ramp.
Right.
But it was me driving like 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I showed her that video, and she's like, "Oh my God, why did you show me that?"
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But there was no danger. Yes, I was driving at high speeds. We were trained to drive at high speeds.
But they don't get that. They don't get that.
But she's like, I can't believe you showed me that. I'm like,
so if you cops are watching this show right now, and I hope you are, and I hope you share it with your friends, if there's one thing that you do not want to do, is take home or copy or tape on your phone the freaking body camera footage of you wrestling a guy or fighting with a guy or getting a gun pulled on you or driving at high speeds or running into a flaming building or something like that, and show your significant other or your children. Because they might say, oh my God, that's really cool. But what you don't realize, and I made the mistake one time, beginning of my career. I never did it again, because all I heard about was from then on was, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Did everything go all right now last night? Everything okay? And I'm like, gee, many Christmas. I never did it after that. In my 35-year career, I never did it after that.
Yeah.
So it was just that, but it wasn't even, I never engaged with the car. I was just chasing it.
And over 100 miles an hour.
Right.
That's scary shit to a civilian.
Exactly.
To a civilian, it's really cool. Like you said, to family,
It's scary as fuck.
it's scary as fuck.
It is.
Yeah.
And I quit doing it, and she'd come home and she'd go, how's your night? It was all right. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And she's like, really? Well, I heard on the news. I'm like, it didn't involve us. Well, I saw like Mary Carr's. No, we were just assisting.
Yeah. We all know that there's stuff that we've never shared.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
we will just,
and I
we
can
will take,
now.
We will, but
you can now because I'm not in the job anymore, and who gives a shit? But certain stuff I don't want her to hear.
Right. That's the thing. I don't want to traumatize my wife with the stuff that I've seen that people do. Not scary stuff. Scary stuff's fine, but what one person does to another person or a child is just something that.
That's like, and I just got to throw this out one time. I went to a store that had simulators, and shooting simulators, and they knew I was a police officer, and my wife had just recently got a gun, so I wanted her to go to a simulator, and they turned around and because I was a cop, they put her in the law enforcement simulator.
Oh, geez.
Like the Fats. Yeah.
So I'm like, really? You got to put her into this shoot-no-shoot situation? Like, she doesn't need to know what we have to do.
Right.
So anyway, I'm done. I'm done.
Now, I do want to say,
We'd love to hear about their stories.
Yeah.
we want to hear about your stories, but also if you are having some issues with some stuff you've dealt with and you're having difficulty dealing with this stuff, don't
send us an email and I will put you in touch with the people that can help you.
Yeah. If you don't do that, please seek somebody to talk to about it.
Yeah, a priest, your best friend, a family member that you
EAP.
trust, EAP, somebody.
Yeah.
But if you email us, you will remain anonymous, and I will put you in touch with someone that can help you and get you the help you need so that you don't go through this the rest of your life or do something like suicide or something else. We're here to help, man. We all wore the badge. We've all been through this shit.
That's
as
why we
far as
call
I'm
it surviving the badge.
Right. Exactly. If you wore a badge of any kind, fire, police, I don't care what it is. Military, nurses, whatever. If you wore any of those insignias or badges, or you were what they call a hometown hero, we want to help, and we will be here for you 100%.
Absolutely.
But this is the after show, so I got to get it in. I want to just real quick.
Sponsors?
Yeah,
sponsors.
We got to go to our sponsors real quick.
Go back to us too.
Yeah, and then come back to us.
I try. Kristen and Tom Clem Realtors here in Central Florida. If you're ready to buy,
How many goddamn?
As many as they want. He put them here.
Guys, I'm doing the sponsor.
That's right.
Shut up. Kristen and Tom Clem Realtors, if you're ready to buy or sell a home, please contact these folks. They will assist you in taking care of what you need real estate-wise. They are amazing. Clem and Company Property Investments, same thing, only if you're ready to sell that house that you've been trying to get rid of or that property or whatever, get a hold of Clem and Company Property Investments. You can tell Camille had 2 shots. This is how he acts. It's unbelievable. I've never seen nobody who can't handle their alcohol. So
really?
Kenny's Groceries and Craft Beer Store. They're located at 1792 and French Avenue in Orange City. They have over 500 craft beers and wines. If you can't find it at Kenny's, it ain't worth drinking. Trust me. That's where all our beer comes from the show.
Transition.
I got it. This is why we did this show, because this is how these idiots act after they've had about 5-6 beers and a couple of shots and everything else. Thank God, usually the shows are over by the way they get this way.
Yeah, he's always giving us the time.
Yeah, whatever. I have to give them the time, otherwise they keep blabbing. All right, listen, this show's gone on forever. We're going to wrap it up now. We appreciate every single one of you. Please like and subscribe below.
Yes.
Surviving the badge,
We still got your 6.